Hi everyone, this is Stan. I'm a YouTuber from Poland who used to live in Taiwan for 9 years and now making videos on Asian politics. Today, let's talk about how China's behavior is damaging China itself. There is a saying in Taiwanese, "okay," which is used to describe people like Xi Jinping. It means a difficult customer. So what kind of customers can be called difficult? Well, those who cancel orders, making troubles, bullying, constantly nitpicking. Well, you all probably know how this customer looks like. Okay, so today let's talk about the behavior of probably the worst customer you can ever find on this planet, which is the CCP, the illegal government occupying China. Well, since the beginning of the CCP rule, what did they like to do the most? Of course, bullying and exploiting Chinese farmers. They've been exploiting the farmers in China for a very long time. Just take a look at the Great Leap Forward, People's Communes, or their hukou system. We all know about this sad and bloody part of China's history. And what about now? This gang only became bigger and stronger, and now they want to bully and exploit the farmers all around the world. Let me explain. In Americas, Australia, or even Europe, farmers all around the world are being targeted by CCP's arrogant and childish behavior. The CCP that used peasants to gain the power right now is exploiting farmers all around the world, and also damaging the image of China in the eyes of the world. And if you don't kneel down before the CCP, if you don't allow them to steal your technologies and infiltrate your society, oh, they'll surely denounce you and will try to attack you from time to time.
坚决反对 强烈谴责.
They think that they hit you with an iron fist of socialism, but in reality it's just hurting themselves and failing to hurt the others. Maybe they think they're strong enough, and even if their attack rebounds, it won't hurt the CCP's noble class, and the ordinary people will just patiently accept everything the party lets them go through. 1.4 billion people is the living shield of the CCP. So, let's see how did the CCP's behavior hurt themselves recently. And let's start with the recent issues related to pork import. We all know that the United States is the world's leading pork exporter. Some time ago, due to rectopamine pork import issues, there were some discussions in Taiwan. We can even say that there were protests against American pork imports instigated by the pro-CCP forces in Taiwan. China is the second largest market for the US pork exports. For example, in 2017, US pork export accounted for 22% of total pork production, and China accounted for more than 9% of export. At the time, it also caused American pig farmers to rely more and more on the Chinese market. Isn't it a bit like what's going on with Taiwan's agricultural products? In 2018, when the US-China trade war started, the CCP imposed a 25% tariff on US pork products. It was indeed a big blow in the American pig farming industry at the moment. And the CCP was extremely arrogant at the time. But then, Argentina and the United States signed an agreement on pork export from the US. And it was the first time American pork got exported to Argentina since 1992. This boosted the US pork export, and the United States found a new market. Returning to the CCP. After decreasing the US pork exports, the CCP started buying from EU, Russia, Brazil, and some other countries. But Russia was one of the countries where African swine fever outbreak happened in 2017. So earlier, China banned Russian pork imports. Then, in 2018, when the US-China trade war started, they had to re-allow imports from Russia. Yep, just another slap into CCP's face. As the result, there was a huge outbreak of African swine fever in 2019 in China. Not only they didn't manage to punish the US, they also damaged their own pork industry and made the ordinary Chinese folks suffer. That's what the CCP is best at. The CCP's cyber army and Taiwan pro-CCP forces like making fun of Taiwanese government for allowing American rectopamine pork imports. Okay, so in their opinion, it's okay to allow the import of pork infected with African swine fever. And the funniest thing is that in the end, China still had to resume American pork imports. Oh, and there are even more embarrassing things ahead. Huawei princess Meng Wanzhou was arrested by Canadian government in December 2018. As usual, the CCP started crying around and denouncing everyone. So in March 2019, they banned Canadian canola imports, as they claimed the diseases and pests were detected in Canadian canola shipments. Man proposes, God disposes. After the outbreak of African swine fever in 2019, they realized that the pork industry had to be revived somehow in China. Therefore, the needs of the pig farmers also increased drastically. And canola is not only being used for the production of cooking oil. Canola seeds are also used in the production of pig feed. And because of the global outbreak of the CCP virus in 2020, leading to many countries starting to hoard raw materials in advance, and also panic buying of grain and other materials, including canola seeds. So the result is actually similar to what happened with Australian coal. Although the CCP banned the import of canola from Canada, but the demand didn't go anywhere. Therefore, they had to find another way to buy it through different distributors. And of course, the price was increased drastically. Everybody wants to earn some money. China encountered locust swarms and floods in the same year, and they had to ban the live eating shows and even launch the so-called clean plate movement. Talking about Australian coal, I think you still remember this case. If not, let me remind you. In April 2020, Australia requested an independent investigation in the origin of the CCP virus outbreak in China. Oh, I can hear the sound of shattered glass again. And in October, China suddenly found pests in Australian barley. Yeah, it's always pests. The CCP can probably improve their imagination one day. As a result, Mexico was very happy to buy all the barley. Then the famous CCP's nationwide power outage happened. That was partially caused by the ban on Australian coal. The CCP probably just forgot that they still rely on thermal power generation, or had a misconception that China currently needs only green energy. They used to laugh at Taiwan for the phrase by the Taiwanese president, "generate electricity from love." But in the CCP there is no love, so the power just went out. In the end, the Australian coal was bought by the hostile power, India. Australian red wine was also bought by the world's biggest party, which is Communist Hater Party. And Australia also raised iron ore prices for the ore exported to China. Then there was the pineapple incident. And some people in Taiwan even started supporting the CCP here. Guess who? Yep, KMT. Kuomintang Party. Surprised? KMT is very proud for signing ECFA with China. They used to brainwash everyone in Taiwan that ECFA is very good for Taiwanese economy, and even wanted to secretly sign the service trade agreement. During that period, there were many retirees from agricultural institutions, professors of agriculture, or former members of farmers associations, agricultural practice experts, who went to China to work as consultants, copying successful Taiwanese experiences, introducing Taiwanese species and technologies, and also management models to China. And one former president even said, "We won't sell out Taiwan, but we will sell out Taiwanese fruits." And what is the result of that? Taiwanese farmers became more and more dependent on China. Is it taking care of farmers? And now it's even more clear. China is using cross-strait agricultural cooperation, or Taiwan Farmers Entrepreneurship Parks, as well as land, low taxes, and favorable financing options to buy Taiwanese farmers. Bring Taiwan successful agricultural technologies and improved species to China. And then China just plants extensively, lowers prices, provides export subsidies to destroy the market rules and then weaken Taiwanese agriculture. So the farmers in Taiwan have been hit hard by the unfair CCP's practices. And now KMT says again, oh, the ruling party is very bad. They don't appease the CCP and therefore China doesn't buy our pineapples. What the hell? Who wanted to sign ECFA in the beginning? And even in 2019-2020, many KMT supporters were saying, oh, China's market is so important for Taiwan. It's very important to Taiwan's agriculture. If the DPP won't renew ECFA, it would be a death sentence to Taiwan. But who has always been malicious towards Taiwan? That's the biggest question. It was the CCP. So, this only proves it once again, that we should work harder to find a way to make Taiwanese industry and overall economy to decouple from China, to decouple from the CCP's market. And now the whole world is actually facing a painful period of decoupling from the CCP. No country is exceptional here. Therefore, how to wisely decouple from China is the most important question to the Taiwanese government. Thank you so much for watching. If you like the video, please press like, subscribe, and share. This is Dan, and I see you in the next one.